Greetings, this is Miss Morphew. In this brief bid, we're going to look at glossophobia, the fear of public speaking, and how we can mitigate that, how you can take steps to lessen that discomfort and to raise your confidence. As a nod to my Fentress folks, for whom Mark Twain is relevant, there are two types of speakers, he said, those who get nervous and those who are liars. So even very famous actors and entertainers and politicians are known, certain ones are known to have great fear of public speaking, and yet they overcome. You can too. You aren't alone. As you're in this venture called COMM2025 and in college, there are many learning supportive systems, and certainly there are many things. We address that elephant in the room, many other resources and people that can help you realize when you're uncomfortable and let you find ways to handle it. So glosso is the ancient Greek for tongue, and phobo is the ancient Greek for panic or dread. Thus came our word glossophobia, the fear of public speaking. The National Institute of Mental Health had done a study that is highly publicized for many years, and it said that public speaking is the greatest fear that people have, even greater than spiders and death itself. If you have watched the video lectures for online discussion number 2, then you've explored this a little further. But we're going to do briefly a very brief capture of some major ideas. The physiological response for excitement and anxiety is the very same. Your heart races, maybe your hands sweat, maybe your stomach gets tight, or your bowels feel loose. You might sweat. All these are all physiological responses, whether you're getting asked to be married and it's an exciting thing, or whether you're scared to jump out of a plane. The way that you look at it, okay, I'm feeling my heart racing. That could be excitement. I'm feeling anxiety. Well, excuse me, I'm feeling another physical response. Instead of seeing it as anxiety, you can turn it around and say excitement. In the classroom, I often tell the story where I had gone to interview for this full-time position as a COMM2025 instructor. I'd been teaching it as an adjunct for a lot of years, but I sat outside this conference room, and there were 8 people around this table, and I was about to be invited in. And here comes the dean, Dr. Myra Peavyhouse, and she said, "How are you?" And instead of the actual heart racing I was feeling being considered anxious, I said, "I'm excited," because I've told my students forever that you have a choice. How's your mind going to see these physical responses? And I got the job. So there are 3 things that I'd like to point out that are content and information within some of our momentum materials. Some people like to think of mind, body, spirit as connected, and they think holistically. Some people like to think of more the physiology and science, like sports medicine or something like that. And even in sports, your coaches talk about get your mind right. I want to tell you that there's this whole psychological field that's called think, feel, act. And that how you think is going to affect how you feel, and then your response, how you act. So your mind can shift consciously your feelings and your actions. There's actually a choice. Be aware of the physiological feelings. Shift your mind into what this means. Am I scared or am I excited? And then you will take the actions that are going to get you to your goals. Dr. Amy Cuddy, a very well-known social scientist, has a TED Talk in our links, and she talks about power posing that creates an actual physical change in your body. Her tagline is, "Fake it till you become it." If you get the chance, certainly watch the 15 or 18-minute version, because they've got shorter edited versions online. But if you get that chance, take the 21, 22-minute version of it and watch it, because she tells her own powerful story and why how that power posing made a huge difference, and her mindset made a huge difference. So check out Amy Cuddy and her TED Talk. Finally, I say wear it like you mean it. Sometimes we are scared, but if you pull your shoulders back and you smile and you try to meet people's eyes, and you're aware of your fidgets, so you reduce those fidgets, that display of confidence, that too can change your feelings, and it can increase the confidence. Certainly nobody else, what is it they say? Never let them see you sweat. Well, if you wear it like you mean it, it actually can create that physiological change too. Again, pointing out that we do have an online discussion number 2. In the past, I've said that's a bonus and you can get a lot of points. So if you see that on our momentum, that's not accurate. It's been updated since we've gone to the the hybrid. So in the fall of 2020, this is something I want everyone to do. For online discussion 2, I want you to watch 2 brief video lectures. One's 5 minutes on anxiety and about 8 minutes on confidence. And in the confidence one, I tell you about 3 videos in our links. I actually tell you about 4, but one of those has been taken off of YouTube over time. So go ahead and watch those 3 videos. Finally, think about and feel all of the things that you've heard there about anxiety and confidence, and go to communication, pull down to discussion, and I want you to start a new thread for online discussion 2. You will post a college paragraph, your truths, but you don't use any lowercase i's, and you try to put the proper punctuation in there. You're collegiate. I want you to post a response to all that you have seen and heard in all those videos. Some people have told me it only takes about an hour to do all of this, because the 3 little vids you watch are more brief as well. One person told me it took her 2 hours, but you have until like week 7 to get that done, so that's okay. You can do this. Through the videos, I hope that you'll find tips and tricks and practices that will be something that you can personally choose to use if you need to be more confident. There are some other tools that you can use when you're giving a speech, and one is to use visuals. You can see in this wonderful graphic that one of these stands out a whole lot more. I hope you think it's the one on the right. If you are doing a presentation, you can use slides to help keep you on track, and that's going to raise your confidence. The slide with all the words would lead you not into temptation, lead you into the temptation to just turn around, look at the slide, and read it to us. Boring. And if you're not engaging your listeners, then you are not going to raise your confidence either. You're not going to get the head nods. You're not going to get the sounds of approval. If you have something like a strong visual, and keep your little cards or something like that if you need to remember exactly what you want to say. Maybe you have your outline bullets in your hand or something. Certainly use the cue cards to hold the information you want to make sure you say, but just talk to us. That way you'll engage us, you'll engage the audience, you'll appeal to us, you'll reach all the different learning styles, the listening styles, and you'll stay on track. One of the videos for online discussion number 2 is Nancy Duarte's 5 Rules for Great Presentations. Whether you're bringing in things like my unabridged dictionary to explain my momentum, real stuff, realia, or whether you're having a PowerPoint slide. Some people actually wear some kind of a shirt or a costume or things they bring in that extend the message. Those things will make you feel more comfortable because you might have something that you want to physically show, and it takes your mind off the fact you're standing in front of anybody else. And it also helps guide your listeners. So it guides you and it guides your listeners and engages all of us. You might, as part of online discussion 2, really pay attention to that Duarte's 5 Rules for Great Presentations. So to summarize, I want you to open your reflection journal and write a sentence that either summarizes, compares, captures the ideas we've covered so far. And then the second thing I want you to do after that one sentence summary is write down a couple of ideas. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. And create a plan so that your confidence can be raised. You can be engaged. It might be that you're going to go and have the Learning Center look at your outlines. It might be that you're going to look into the library or the online Learning Center to get some support. It might be that you're going to go watch a YouTube video on how to effectively start it. Whatever your plan is, you're going to implement Amy Cuddy's power posing. Make a plan so that you can be confident and you can be engaged, and so can your listeners.